What's up, everyone? Hope you're doing well. Rebirth Island is here. So I'm going to go over all the nerfs and buffs that happened in today's patch notes, and then give you a few loadouts that you can be using to drop into Rebirth Island to stay ahead of the game. Let's get into it. All right, so we got the season 3 patch notes that released today, and there's a lot of stuff being added to the game and things like that, but we're here for the nerfs and buffs of those weapons. Of course, we've got the new weapons, the FJX Horus and the Moore sniper rifle that did drop today. We'll have loadout videos, so make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit that like button, hit that noti bell so you don't miss those videos. We'll have loadouts for you for both of those weapons, and then you have the gladiator melee weapon and the BAL 27 assault rifle that will be dropped. The melee weapon is out today, but the BAL 27 assault rifle will be season 3 reloaded. We've got some new aftermarket parts: Jack Cutthroat, Jack Ravager kit, Jack Jawbreaker, Jack Shadow Titan kit, Jack Patriot, Wardens, Jack Atlas kit, and the Photonic charge barrel. We're gonna check all those out. A lot of those will probably be weekly challenge unlocks and things like that, so coming later here in the season and things like that, but some might be available now. We'll go check those out for you as well, so make sure you're subscribed. Now for those weapons nerfs and buffs. So the Ram 7 did get a nerf. It got a decreased neck damage multiplier from 1.3 down to 1, which is going to be pretty significant. So minus 23% there on the damage multiplier for the neck. Then the Holger 556 got a upper leg, lower leg, and foot damage multipliers decreased from 1 to 0.85, so the minus 15% there. So you have to hit upper body shots, or it's Holger 556 just won't be worth it, especially with that 40 round mag that's on there. It's not going to be worth it. The MCW did get a slight nerf, a decreased headshot damage multiplier from 1.3 to 1.1. So MCW is still going to be pretty solid. I think probably maybe 4 or 5, probably around 5 for me, but I think it's still usable. You'll no longer get the 4-shot kill with the head damage multiplier. The DG56 increased the sprint to fire time, so DG56 got another nerf, I guess. So not sure why it needed it, but it did. The SOA Subverter got a slight nerf, increased the sprint to fire time from 256 to 268, plus 5%, and increased the aim down sight time from 270 to 290. So just a little bit of a mobility nerf there, nothing with the damage or anything like that. So it's still going to be really, really solid, especially with the low recoil. Probably overall, might probably be overall number 1. SVA 545 did not get touched again, so the SVA 545 in burst mode will still be very solid. Bass B decreased the rate of fire from 667 to 600 and decreased the recoil center speed by 6%, so a little bit of a balance nerf and buff there. But the Jack Outlaw 277 kit got a pretty substantial buff. Decreased the sprint to fire time, decreased ADS time, decreased the ADS sight rate of fire penalty, increased the medium damage range from 74 to 90, increased the minimum damage range from 70 to 90. This thing 2 shots, supposed to 2-shot kill to all body locations right here. This is going to be probably pretty broken. I'm not sure why they did this, but we're going to be testing that for sure. Sidewinder decreased the sprint to fire time from 231 to 210, increased the bullet velocity from 600 to 270. So Sidewinder got a little bit of a buff there. Ram 9 got a buff, decreased the sprint to fire time. So Ram 9 is going to be probably number 1 overall right now. AMR 9 got a sprint to fire time buff as well. That's a pretty massive one too. AMR 9 is already really solid. The thing it was missing was that sprint to fire time. I think this is going to be definitely locked in at number 2. So you got number 1 and number 2 SMGs right there. Rival 9 got a nerf, increased the sprint to fire time, decreased near to mid damage range. I guess the Rival 9 was better than everybody thought it was. I don't know. But the Rival 9 got a nerf today, and I didn't think it was needed, but it did. So HRM 9 got a slight nerf. So HRM 9, Striker, I'm going to group these all together. So HRM 9, Striker 9, Striker, WSP 9, and WSP Swarm all got a sprint to fire time nerf. So I'm assuming they're trying to match it up with the AMR 9 and Ram 9 and just kind of balance those a little bit more. So no damage nerfs there. So as far as like usable, very, very usable still. HRM 9 is going to be closer to the AMR 9 and Ram 9 now. So anyway, HRM 9 will still have the faster sprint to fire time, and looks like the Striker 9 has the fastest overall besides the Swarm, but the Swarm's damage is just not good right now, and so I think the WSP Swarm is still just really unusable in my opinion. Shotguns, they added the Long Haul 50 and Wolf Call 300 muzzle attachments to Modern Warfare 3 shotguns. Light machine guns, TAC Evolver got a nerf, increased sprint to fire time, increased the aim down sight time. The 7.62 belt magazines decreased the neck damage multiplier, so this whole TAC Evolver got a nerf. Bruin MK9 got another buff, but it was not a damage buff. It's a decreased aim down sight time from 410 to 350, which is pretty significant for the ADS time for LMG. So Bruin MK9, number 1 LMG overall, baby. baby, and it's going to be amazing, especially on Rebirth. RAL MG increased the sprint to fire time. So RAL MG got an overall nerf as well. Increased a lot of things. So the MG there for Modern Warfare 2 got a nerf. MTZ Interceptor increased ADS time, decreased medium damage range. MTZ Interceptor got another nerf here. So XRK Stalker, KV Inhibitor, SPX 80 all got a nerf for the ADS time, and SPX 80 got another sprint to fire time nerf. So we have a new sniper. I'm wondering if it one shots and if they're just trying to balance the XRK Stalker with that a little bit more. The snake shot ammo got another buff, increased minimum damage range and bullet termination range from 14.5 to 19.6 meters. WSP Stinger got a buff. Kimbo WSP Stinger rear grip increased rate of fire from 600 to 750. So Kimbo WSP Stingers, we're going to check those out for sure. I think they might actually be pretty usable. We'll see. That Cronin Intless MSP2 or MSP12 optic, the one that has the crosshairs with the laser attached to it, that got a buff, kind of, I think, with the laser no longer visible during hip fire. So when you're carrying it at the hip or when you're running, that laser is going to be no longer visible. That's going to be nice. The SL Razorhawk laser sight flashlight is no longer visible to enemies at the hip. That's awesome. Laser is no longer visible to enemies at the hip, so that's great. So this is more along the lines of why we wanted to be able to use this. So we might be switching out the laser light with the bolt or something like that. CS15 Scarlet Box laser no longer visible to enemies. So a lot of VT7 Spearfire suppressor increased sprint to fire speed penalty. So sprint to fire speed for that VT7 Spearfire suppressor has been nerfed. L4R flash rider muzzle decreased horizontal recoil control benefit from 13% to 10%. So L4R flash rider muzzle got a nerf. DR6 hand stop underbarrel decreased aim down sight movement speed benefit. So a little bit of a nerf to the DR6 hand stop underbarrel. Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel decreased horizontal recoil control benefit from 12 to 8. That's a pretty massive one. Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel got a pretty major nerf. We'll check that out, see how it feels. But yeah, that's gonna be a big one. So look for the Chimera vertical grip. We'll check out the horizontal recoil control benefit there for that Chimera. That would be my immediate switch to attachment for the underbarrel if we need it. So let's get you some loadouts that you can be using right now, right when you're dropping into Rebirth, and let's see what we can do. All right, so these loadouts are going to be in no particular order because there's no way to tell right this second. I'm going to be doing some testing, and then we'll have an updated loadout video for you later this week, probably around Friday. But these are going to be some really solid options for you to drop into Rebirth with right now. And so we'll go ahead and save this video, but these are going to be really solid. So first up, we've got the SOA Subverter. Remember, it got that ADS and sprint to fire nerf. That's not going to be super, it was already pretty good anyway. As far as TTK goes, it's going to be amazing, especially with the Holger 556 nerf and the Ram 7 nerf. This is going to be a really, probably my #1 option. But and then we've got it paired with the AMR 9. For this, we're going with the Zimmer 35 compensated flash muzzle, the Dozer 90 long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, and that Jack glassless optic with the 60 round drum. Show this to you guys here in the firing range. Again, it's going to be one of the best options, especially when it comes to lower recoil. It's going to be a lot of fun to use, especially on Rebirth, man. Rebirth's going to be so much fun. For this AMR 9, we got the Zimmer 35 compensated flash muzzle, the AMR 9 Regal Pro barrel, the DR6 hand stop underbarrel, the XRK Edge BW4 hand stop, the 50 round drum, and the Jack glassless optic. Here's that AMR 9 in the firing range. I love the AMR 9. It's so much fun to run. That sprint to fire buff is going to be really nice right now. Then I've got the MTZ 556 paired with the HRM9. The HRM9 did get a sprint to fire nerf, but that's not going to affect it too much, and it is probably within my top 3. So for the MTZ 556, we're going to the Zimmer 35 compensated flash, the Drifter heavy long barrel, still that Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel. If you struggle with vertical, go with the Chimera Ryan 03 vertical grip, but I still like the Bruin heavy here, strictly for the firing aim stability. But again, it's not going to make too much of a difference when it comes to the horizontal recoil control. The 50 round drum and the Jack glassless optic. Show this MTZ 556 in the firing range for you real quick. It's going to be a very solid long range option, I think, as well. Very solid. Then for the HRM9, we're going with the Zimmer 35 compensated flash, the Thorn 90 barrel, the XRK Edge BW4 hand stop, the 50 round drum, and the folding stock. Show this to you here in the firing range. Yeah, this thing's just still going to be pretty good. For our third loadout, we're going with the Striker 9, which did get another sprint to fire nerf, but it'll be fine. And then I think the Holger 26. So if you've been running the Holger 556, my immediate fix for that is the Holger 26 LMG. Still feels like an AR, shoots real straight, and has a 60 round mag. I think it'll be a very solid pivot for you if you've been running the Holger 556. And then that Striker 9, we're going with the Zimmer 35 compensated flash, DR6 hand stop, or that XRK Edge hand stop, the Jack glassless optic, Lockman MK2 light stock, along with the 50 round drum. I think this is going to be a very solid, always really has been a sniper support weapon, but so look for that to run with that new sniper they put out. And then that Holger 26, we're going the Zimmer 35 compensated flash, the Holger factory barrel, Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, the Jack glassless optic, and the Ascent Lord stock. Show this to you here in the firing range. It just shoots so straight. I think it's going to be like I said, immediately pivot to this from that Holger 556. Then for our fourth loadout, that 2-shot Bass B, the Outlaw kit, got a pretty massive buff. We're going to be looking at that and testing that, but this is going to be a loadout you can run for it. I think it's going to be very broken on Rebirth. And then with that, we're running more of a sniper support striker build, strictly because this is a longer range Bass B. If you need a little bit more recoil control for an SMG, maybe at mid range, to kind of help you out, but still be pretty solid at close range, this striker is going to be a lot of fun for you to run, especially on Rebirth. So for that Bass B, you go with the VT7 Spiritfire suppressor, the Bruin Venom long barrel, that Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, or the Chimera Rhine 03 vertical grip. This might actually be a better option for you. That Jack Outlaw 277 kit and the Choreo Eagle's Eye 2.5 times scope, or whatever sight makes you comfortable. You can add on that Intless Cast 14 or the KR Intless LSJ3, completely up to you there, but I like the Choreo Eagle's Eye here for the longer ranges. Again, this will be 2-shot anywhere to the body. This thing's going to be wildly broken, I feel like. Then for that striker, we're going with the Zimmer 35 compensated flash, striker recon long barrel, the Bruin heavy support grip underbarrel, or that Chimera Rhino 3. You can also run the XRK Edge if you want a little bit more mobility, the 60 round drum, and the Jack glassless optic. Show this here in the firing range. Very little recoil, a lot of fun to run, and you can run it a little bit longer ranges too, which is fantastic. My number one overall loadout, and this is going to be my number one. This is my Rebirth Island number one. I'm going to be running this a lot. We'll see how it feels, but I think this is going to be just overall number one. It's the Bruin MK9 with the Ram 9. The Ram 9 was already good, and they buffed the sprint to fire time on it, so it's even better. And then they buffed the sprint to fire time on this Bruin, so it's going to feel a lot like an AR right now, especially with that 60 round mag on it. So we're going to go with the Zimmer 35 compensated flash muzzle, XRK Horizon V2 barrel here, Bruin heavy support grip if you need help with the vertical recoil, Chimera, very solid option, the 60 round mag, and that Jack glassless optic. This Jack glassless optic is going to be perfect for Rebirth, man. It's going to be kind of like the VLK was back in the day. I think this is going to be a very OP loadout for Rebirth Island. And then with that Ram 9, we're going with a little bit more mobility. So we're going with the Speedway V5 short barrel, the DR6 hand stop, or that XRK Edge underbarrel there, the 50 round mag, the Haste XV grip tape, and the Recon comb. And this thing is just going to be so stinking fast on Rebirth, man. I cannot wait. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that noti bell so you don't miss another video like this or like any of these. Leave a like for Rebirth. We'll see you in the next one.